Hello everyone, I'm Chocolo here for a video review. This time we've got Sweet Nothings episode 4, and it's the Easter Conundrum, or Easter egg problem, or the problems with Easter eggs, or all of those, or just one of them. So basically it's just been Easter now. I mean, it's been a couple of weeks actually, really. I'm probably a bit slow doing this video, but I don't know. It's one of those, isn't it? Time flies, really, time flies. But so basically, there's a few problems with Easter and Easter eggs and this, that and the other, and I just kind of wanted to address those and see what you thought as well, just in a kind of discussion video, one of my Sweet Nothings videos, which is kind of my irrelevant comments on society in regards to chocolate. Oh, God knows what it is, I don't know, it's just me rambling normally, but anyway, thank you for coming. So I've done 3 other episodes, so feel free to go have a look. There's probably a playlist in one of the corners now saying what it is, of course, and if you like my videos as well, I've done almost 600 reviews now, I think, which is mind-boggling. So that's probably one of the corners as well. And it might flash up now, but it will be there, forever. So if you ever get sick of this, click on one of those and have a look at those as well. Okay, so what I'm talking about is my views on Easter, really. Now the problem, there's various problems with Easter, really, and I think the main problem is the expectations, really. Now when I was younger, Easter eggs, were very magical things, really. I mean, I'm sure most of you knows what I mean by Easter eggs, but I don't really mean the sort of real eggs. I mean actually sort of chocolate eggs is what I'm getting at here. And what they typically are is a hollow chocolate egg, essentially, and usually they're branded, so they'll be like Cadbury's Whisper Easter egg, or Thornton's Easter egg, or a Lindt Easter egg, or something like that. And they'll basically have it'd be most likely, almost certainly, their chocolate, and they'll come with some chocolate bars and things like this. But the problem really is the fact that, obviously when you're a kid, everything's great, isn't it? But I think the problem is when you get a bit older and start to sort of think about it a bit more, you realise that they're actually kind of very overpriced and overrated, and unfortunately tend to not really be that exciting. So what you typically get is just a very basic egg. Let's take a sort of like a Smarties Easter egg, a Nestle Smarties Easter egg. It's like they'll come in quite small. It'll be a small egg to start with, and it'll just come with some mini Smarties, and that's it really. And you pay about £5 for it, something like that, which is, at time recording probably, $7 or something like that, and €6 or something like this. I don't know what it is, but it's a lot of money anyway for what it is. And so basically, it would normally cost you about £1 probably in the shops. I'm sure you can work out the exchange rates, but it's very basically it's just not really worth it. And the problem you've got is you're really just getting a sweet that you could get elsewhere anyway, and just a hollow chocolate egg, which isn't really that exciting, And that's my main problem with a lot of them, is that you're paying quite a lot of money, and this is a cheaper one. Some of them are £8-10, even more, and don't really come with anything that special, So like it'll be a bigger egg, but generally will just come with 3 chocolate bars or something like that, rather than just one little mini pack of Smarties or something that the Smarties one came with. Or maybe a few more things, but in the end it's generally the same. And that's my main problem with them. They're just not exciting enough, and they're just really just masking just normal stuff that you would normally pay 50p for, times 3 or 4 or something like that. And then obviously it looks really nice, it looks amazing, it's unique and special, and you don't get it every day, it's only once a year. But generally, they're pretty disappointing because of that reason alone, I think, and that's the main problem with it. Now, I've always wanted from Easter eggs. Now, some Easter eggs, well, before I go on a bit too far, I'm sure when I was younger, Easter eggs used to be a bit more magical. I'm sure, and I say magical, of course, everything's better with rose-tinted specs, aren't they, really? But but I'm sure when you got them, the chocolate probably wasn't great, and they probably weren't always branded, but you always used to get like sweets on the inside of the egg. Now that was something you just don't get anymore. Not really. Not unless it's like an artisan company that have made them especially for you. What they'll do is they'll make the egg, and they'll just have some bars external to the egg, and they'll just be regular chocolate bars, maybe a multi-pack version or something. Maybe they'll say Easter egg bar, not for resale on it, but it's generally a bar that you can get elsewhere, and nothing special. But when I was young, I'm sure most eggs used to have something on the middle. Even if it was Cadbury's buttons, there'd be a pack inside the egg with the buttons in. And even though it was just Cadbury's buttons, and it could be in a pack external to the egg, and it'd be the same thing, it was just more exciting that it was inside the egg. It was just so much more interesting, and you had to break them, and you had a surprise in it, because you didn't really know what it was. And when you were a kid, you don't really read the packaging. You probably don't read the packaging now, but you just you didn't know what it was. You just what to expect, and it was just a bit more exciting. And that doesn't really happen anymore. I haven't seen. I could be wrong. please feel free to comment if I am. But I'm sure you don't really, the Smarties ones. You just get like a pack of Smarties outside of the egg, and it's just not very exciting, really. Yeah, and of course, and that's if you're lucky, really. And even that's not like exciting. It's just really generally just an Easter egg, nothing too special. And of course, the ones I normally buy these days aren't the smaller ones. I normally buy the bigger ones now because, I guess I'm bigger myself, and of course, you want something a bit bigger these days. I mean, when you're a kid, of course, everything's a treat, but nowadays, I look at the big ones and I've got to get those, So there is a chance that the small ones could still do things like that, but I'm sure they don't really. And even if they do, the big ones don't, and and there's no reason why they can't either. And I seem to remember I remember being on a school trip or something. I was thinking about a double-decker Easter egg, and I don't know if I had one or someone was giving me one or I'd got it as a treat. I think I was coming back in the car from my auntie's actually, and she gave me a double-decker Easter egg. This was a long time ago, Yeah, a long time ago. Don't know how long ago this was, about 30 years maybe. It's a long time. So it was a very long time ago, and I remember looking at it thinking, even then, whatever it was, I say 30, it might not be that long ago, but however long ago it was a long time ago. Even then I was thinking, this doesn't feel right. It's just an egg. It's just a package with a double decker in it and an egg. I remember thinking that's not really very exciting. Where's the surprise? Where's the novelty of it? Where's the double decker incorporated into the egg? I don't think I would have used incorporated in my mind's eye at the time or mind's ear, but that's what I was thinking. I remember thinking that, and this was when I was really young, and so this transition was obviously quite a while ago now. And it's just and I look at the eggs these days, and I go in, and used to be a lot more mugs as well and things like that. I used to get, I think, when I was younger, but you still get those, a special mug with the egg inside. It's random and bizarre. I don't know why that is, but that's one other gimmick that they sometimes do. So it's all a bit disappointing, nowadays, and it's been like that for a long time now, as you can imagine. And branding, of course, is the thing, isn't it, these days? So it's not surprising that it's kind of gone that way to a really ridiculous degree. But basically, So when I look for Easter eggs nowadays, what I want is something where the bar is manifested somehow in the egg itself. So if you've got a Cadbury's Crunchy Easter egg, I'm expecting the egg to have Cadbury's Crunchy pieces inside it, And that's what I want from an egg. As soon as I see an Easter egg on the shelves, I'm looking at the egg itself to see what's special about it. So sometimes, it comes naturally. So I had Cadbury's what's the Bourneville egg, orange Bourneville egg actually. So the egg itself, it came with a big slab of bar of Bourneville, regular bar of Bourneville. Pretty boring. I mean, for an Easter egg, But it had the egg inside it as well, which was orange, dark chocolate Bourneville. So the egg itself, by default, was really good. So I mean, those ones are okay. I think they're acceptable. And obviously, white chocolate ones, Nestle Milky Bar one, they come white chocolate and a bit more exciting. But I'm generally looking for ones, and of course, the Bourneville one was, as I say, flavoured orange, so that was a bit more exciting as well. It wasn't just dark chocolate, so they'd kind of forced themselves to do something a bit special there, and I like that. That was good, even though it was just chocolate. It had more to it. So I'm always looking for these ones to have something special, and I'm not into Easter eggs that are just normal, really. I know sometimes it's a Lindt egg or something, and Lindt chocolate's different, but even so, I'm wanting something very special. I mean, obviously, you can take it to extremes. I don't know if you ever saw those Pimp My Snack things where they did a full-size Cadbury's cream egg. I'm not expecting an Easter egg filled with Cadbury's cream egg filling, like a full-size one. I mean, I would definitely buy it, but I don't think I'd survive eating it. But but that would be novel. That really would be novel, actually. So who knows? Maybe I would go for that. But so obviously that might be too extreme. But even then, it is something novel, and they could try and maybe do a small one. Like obviously, the cream egg is small itself, and whatever. But they could do a bigger one, like a sort of cream, an Easter egg this size or something, and fill it with cream egg. Just for it probably have about 1 million calories in it. That's probably why they don't do it. But what I'm trying to say is there's something that could be done that's a bit special. Obviously, that's just a sort of cream egg, it's slightly bigger, so I'm not sure it's that different really, but hopefully you get the idea. So I'm looking for things that have something unique about them and a bit different, and I just don't find that often. I'm looking at even sometimes the Cadbury's Crunchy ones don't have it, like the honeycomb inside the egg, and I'm sure sometimes they did. A lot of them, I think there's a lot of Nestle ones that do actually. I think it's usually a Matchmakers ones, or something along those lines. They always do ones which do have crispy bits in the egg, and they're really good, quite cheap, small ones as well, and they're probably some of the better ones, I think, because of that, you know. And I love Easter eggs as well when they sort of have bigger, thick parts where the chocolate's kind of layered a bit too heavy in the mould and it's a thick part of the egg. I really like things like that as well. That's bits that excite me in Easter eggs. So there's that problem really. That's you know, I don't want to labour that point too much, but that's a problem. And I think the next one leading on from that is the fact that it's a hollow egg as well. Now, of course, you can understand why they're hollow, because if it was a solid egg, it would just be a brick, and you couldn't eat it. How could you eat it? You know, imagine trying to eat that. You know, you couldn't smash it, you couldn't eat it. You couldn't really chop it with a knife and a fork. But I did see one. So my friend, I think it was from Chocolo or something like that. It's one of these premium chocolate places. He sent me a link, and basically it was essentially a full egg, but it was segmented to this way you could slide bits off. It came out in chunks. It had been sliced somehow or fit together, which I think was a good halfway house, or a good way of tackling the problem, really, of it not being a full solid egg. I don't know how big the egg was, but it was about 30 pounds, I think 33 pounds or something it was. So I was tempted even, but I just couldn't, you know, it's too much money that for what it is, but I don't know, maybe next year, who knows. But it's very, that, you know, that did look really nice, and I think that did solve the problem, you know, it was a good solution to that. But you can see why they don't do it, and of course, and as a kid, as you're growing up, you sort of, you know, you think, why is it not a solid egg? You don't think about the logistics or the obvious reasons for it, you know, or anything like this, you know, practicalities of it, that's the word I wanted, really. Yeah, so you don't think about things like that, but of course, you know, why should you have to worry about things like that? You know what I mean? They're meant to be special, they need to find a solution to it, and you shouldn't be charging £30 for a solid chocolate. I mean, you know, when you buy a solid dairy milk bar, which is a kilogram bar, you don't pay £30 for it, do you? I'm quite certain that this egg wasn't a kilogram egg, and if it was, you know, as I say, you don't pay £30 for a kilogram slab of dairy milk, maybe £5 or £10, you know, so it's a bit of a joke, that really. I realise it was a premium chocolate shop, but no excuse. So there we go. So that's the other problem for it, really. And then from my point of view, leading on to the third problem, so I'm going to do 3 problems, I think. I might come up with a 4th one, who knows, but is reviewing them. It's very difficult because, as I've already kind of alluded to, if I'm reviewing an Aero chocolate egg and it's just 2 bars of Aero and a chocolate egg, which just Nestle chocolate, or whoever makes Aeros, is it Nestle? I think it's Nestle. Yeah, so, you know, what's there to review? You know, of course, you know, obviously you won't know until I've opened it or till I explain it or whatever it is. That's just what it is. So I guess there is a review there. But it's very difficult when you've got 5, 6 of these kind of eggs, and they all follow the same template. They're all just basically a hollow egg with some bars with it, you know, of that type. So Nestle do about, I don't know, they might do about 10 different types of eggs or something for all their product lines. So I'm just reviewing 10 of the same thing, really. It's just 2 bars and a hollow egg with the same chocolate, you know, maybe slightly differently, but not it's different chocolate, but not really. So how can I really review those? You know what I mean? It's because I'm paying £8 an egg, probably between £5 and £8, maybe more for the egg, which is a lot more than I buy for the 2 chocolate bars, or our chocolate bar on their own. So it's very hard for me to review these, to justify spending that much money and the time reviewing them, really. I mean, maybe the time, another argument, because of course I think people would still watch the reviews and it'd be quite interesting. And to the point where I probably will try and do them next year, I think. I've kind of not done them so far in my few years of doing this channel. Mainly because I've always had a backlog and there's always been other chocolates, but I think when Easter comes around next year I might start going for it. Of course, it's hard to you know, justify with the money wise. I mean, that's the other thing as well, you see. I mean, because if you're paying £8 an egg and you've got 10 of them, it's £80. And don't forget, there's only so much I can eat as well. You know, I can't, you know, and also so much space I've got, these big eggs. So, you know, there are logistical problems there. There's logistics for you. That's the proper use of it. But, and practicalities, yeah. So they're both those kind of problems, really. And I think, so it's hard to know what to do. That's the problem with reviewing these. And people do want to see them, and I tend to try and review the smaller Easter products. But even there's loads of those. And even then, it's hard to review some of them and justify them, really. And again, if you've got a backlog of chocolate like I have, you know, it's very hard to fit them all in, really. You know, and the chocolate goes out to date, doesn't it? So that's the other problem. You know, it's very hard to review these things and to spend the money on it. And of course, I wanted to review the big full that Hotel Chocolat £30 Easter egg. You know, it's a lot of money, that. Hard to justify, really. You know, so it's, you know, I have to draw the line and be sensible. And that's the other problem with Easter eggs, is the fact that they cost a lot of money. Some usually for what they are, if not always for what they are. And you know, so it's quite difficult to review. You know, you can't just review one of them. You know, Aero mint Easter egg or something. You've got to review a few of them, haven't you? Really, or you'd like that from my channel. So it's very difficult. So you know, so there's some things. You know, Easter eggs one, ice cream's another way. I don't generally review that because it's quite difficult to review and it's calorific and it melts and you've got to have it at the perfect melted temperature. And of course, sometimes I'm faffing with my videos. So there's reasons like that. And Easter eggs, not quite as bad as that. They are problematic to review, really. But as I say, maybe I will going forward. But yeah, so there we go, really. So those are the problems of Easter eggs, you know, in regards to the channel, in regards to real life, and a mixture of both. So yeah, let me know what you think, really. As I say, so I didn't do too many Easter reviews this year. I wanted to do more. I've still got some I might still do, because I did grab a few things. I just didn't get the time to review them. So I might still have some in the coming months, well, weeks, not months, it might review. So yeah, so let me know anyway what you think of Easter and my reviews, and if I should do more, whether you want to see Easter egg reviews. And just generally what you think of Easter eggs in the state of them at the moment anyway, whether you think they're a rip-off, whether you like them, what you'd like to see from Easter eggs, and the kind of things you look out for as well. Let me know. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. As I say, it's latest Sweet Nothing. So let's say in one of these corners, I never know which one it is. Hopefully it's one of the corners. If I start getting that wrong, I'll be in trouble. Yeah, so hopefully one of the corners is a link to the rest of them, so give them a watch. And also, I'm sure in the link as well, in the same little box icon eye thing with Bob, there'll be a link to a place of all my reviews as well, so give them a watch as well. Okay guys, thanks for watching, take care, hope everything's going okay. Subscribe, like videos and all this, that's you. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Patreon as well if you can, but more importantly, just hope you enjoyed my reviews, and if you did, leave a like, that'd be great. Okay guys, well, I'll say reviews as well, Sweet Nothings, I hope you enjoyed those as well. I don't know what's going on anymore. Thanks for watching guys, take care, see you soon, bye, see ya.